5-3-2. Here we go. Big up everyone. Me and Graham had a discussion and it's still ongoing. But I wanted to talk about stats. Now, I want to know whose stats are better this season from these two players. I'm gonna not mention the players, but as we're looking at stats, I'm gonna mention some stats, and I'd like anyone and everyone to tell me whose stats are better. So there is a player in the Premier League who scored 7 goals and 3 assists. Okay? And then there is another player who scored 5 goals and 3 assists. Which player is better? Which one? How do we know? We're not looking at the eye test, we're looking at stats. You'd kind of think that the player with 7 goals and 3 assists is better on the eye. I mean, on the stats, sorry. But on the eye, it could be completely different. Graham, my message is to you, bro. Which player is better? You know, you're the modern day fan, aren't you? You want to look at stats. So I'm asking you right now. Tell me, bro, whose stats are better now, this season? 2 players I've compared. One player, 7 goals, 3 assists. Or another player, 5 goals and 3 assists. Which stats are better? You'd kind of, and if we're going to go by logic, you would say the guy that's got more goals, 7 goals and 3 assists. But if I told you who that player was and I compared him to the other player who scored 5 goals and 3 assists, you'd be shocked. And it's because the player with the less amount of goals, in my opinion, is a better player on the eye. But modern day fans, they don't look at that. They look at stats. And I'm telling you, stats do not paint the whole picture whatsoever. And this message is to you, Graham. You're a stat man. Just remember, if you're going by stats, when your future grandkids look back, they're going to see that Frank Lampard scored more goals than Thierry Henry. So by your logic, Frank Lampard's a better footballer than Thierry Henry. We've got to go by stats, bro. We've got to go by stats. I'm just saying, these guys who love stat padding, when you break it down, I'm telling you, half the stuff you're coming out with is bubbles. Another one. Alan Shearer, one of the best ever strikers in the Premier League. Right? Fantastic finisher. But then you've got the number 7, the original, the bad man from France, Eric Cantona. You know who I'm picking? I'm picking Eric Cantona because he's better on the eye. He does it with skill, he does it with flair. Darren Bent's another one, scored over 100 goals in the Premier League. I wonder if he scored more than Luis Suarez. That is a very good question. Darren Bent or Luis Suarez? Brush, I'm telling you, that might be what we might need to look into. Has Luis Suarez in the Premier League scored more goals than Darren Bent? I think it's pretty tight, you know. But you know, these guys that watch stats all the time, when they look back in 10, 20 years time, they're not going to remember the eye test. They are going to remember the eye test. Should I tell you why? It's all going to be on video. You can look back. And Phil, you mentioned my GOAT. You mentioned Ronaldinho. And the first thing that came into your mind was frustration. The guy was great. He was doing things that no English footballer could ever do. He was doing things that people like you can't even admire. He gets you off your seat, but you don't like that type of football. You don't like attractive, flair, a player taking another player in a way that we've never seen before. You're just a regular English fan who doesn't watch attractive football. And to the Arsenal fans who like attacking football, what is wrong with you lot, man? That's all I gotta say on it. Stats versus the eye test. If we're gonna go with stats, I've got loads of stats for you. And according to Graham and his logic, Frank Lampard's a better footballer than Thierry Henry. If we're gonna go by numbers, that's just the way it is, isn't it? Frank Lampard is a better footballer than Thierry Henry. You can't flip flop now, Graham. The records are there, goals and assists. I'm just looking at goals. Don't come out with how many games were played and that doesn't matter. What matters is who scored. Big up to everyone, and stats versus the eye test will be back.